Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're all well. What is it tonight? It's a Wednesday evening and I've sat down on the floor in my wardrobe to chat to you about dating. I poured myself a glass of wine. I put out a question on Instagram. I love reading your dating dilemmas. I love shit like this. So yeah, I'm gonna try and give my advice. I mean, I'm single at the moment. I've been through my fair share of relationships. I like to think I know kind of what I'm doing and what I want right now. So hopefully you enjoy this video. And Lola has just come to join me and you're gonna help me give some advice, are you? Do you have some good dating advice? Okay, we're gonna start with the situation that I feel we have all been in. He's the most amazing person I know, but he doesn't want more than friends with benefits. I think I'm in love with him. Okay, let me just take a sip of wine. Friends with benefits situation, let me give you the lowdown. It rarely, and when I say rarely, I mean rarely, it rarely works out. No matter how much you try and convince yourself that you don't like that person, spending that amount of time together and sleeping together, there's bound to be one of you in the situation that develops more feelings than the other, and that's just always the way that it goes. I've had friends with benefits situation where I've got really into them, I've put it out there and they've rejected me, and I've also had situations which I feel like is more recently where I'm like fully like fuckboy mode and guys have said that they started to like me and I'm just like, sorry, no. In this situation, he doesn't want more than friends with benefits and you know that. So why are you wasting your time on someone that's told you quite clearly that that's what they want? You're worth more than chasing a guy that doesn't like you. And I know what it's like to be in that situation. Trust me, I know how hard it is. You're saying he's the most amazing person. I'm sure he has his flaws. One of my best tips for getting over someone is to write down 10 things you don't like about them and read it every single day. Read it 3 times a day until you get over them. And trust me, it speeds up the process. Current relationship, he comes even when I tell him not to because I haven't. Okay, is this a conversation you have had before? So he comes even when I tell him not to. I mean, is he putting the effort in beforehand to make you come? Slash, is there not a window of opportunity after he's come to then focus on you? Like, it doesn't have to be like, you obviously don't have to come before him. It can be like at the same time, before, after him. So I mean, my advice would be to just have a conversation about it and try and figure a way without you getting angry at him in any way, because that's just going to make the situation worse. My boyfriend gets jealous very easily and I'm friends with a lot of guys, so it can often get tricky. Okay, I've definitely been in this situation before. I have a lot of male friends, which I really appreciate because they always give me like a male perspective. I do get it, like obviously if you have guy friends especially that you've slept with in the past, which I do, I've understood it from like past boyfriends' point of view. But the thing is, obviously you're with him and he just needs to appreciate that. You need to have a conversation and say, look, this can't keep happening. You either need to trust me or you need to fuck off. No, I'm kidding, but well, kind of, you need to trust me, or like I don't really know how we can move forward like in a healthy way, because he needs to be reassured that you're not going to do anything and that they're your friends. And I'm sure you've told him in the past that these are his own insecurities and his own issues that he needs to work through. Okay, have a huge crush on a work colleague. I'm known to go off boys really quickly, so I'm worried about making a move but getting the ick and it being awkward at work. I think you've just answered your own question. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, girl. So number one, dating people at work is a big no, because it makes it so awkward if you then have to work with them after shit has gone down. Number two, you have been known to go off boys really quickly, so literally like making the move and then getting the ick, like just I think in this situation it's definitely better to keep him as a crush and go out and find conquests elsewhere. Okay, I've been with a guy for 2 years, but I find myself liking other people. What do I do? I'd say maybe the 2-year mark, or however long you're I'm not going to say it happens to everyone, but your mind naturally starts to think like about other people, just because, well, when you're in a relationship, sometimes that happens. Like you know, you see someone that you fancy on a night out and you think, oh, what if I was single? Obviously a lot of people do that, and then they're really happy in their relationship. But if you find yourself liking other people, that sends red flags to me. So what I would say is figure out whether liking these people is enough to like end things with your boyfriend, or whether it's just a kind of thing where you're maybe not happy in your relationship and something needs to change. Work out where these feelings are coming from and then go from there. Asking out someone of the same gender but don't know that they're into that. Oh, okay. My advice from a straight person, but I have a lot of friends who have similar dilemmas, and I think the main feedback that I get from them and everybody else is that you just have to be brave. I mean, literally, what is the worst that could happen is that they could say, no, sorry, like, I'm straight. Your ego might take a little bit of a knock, but the thing is, putting yourself out there for anyone, you are faced with the option of being rejected. So I mean, I think go for it. If it's a no, fine, move on. If it's a yes, brilliant, happy days. Okay, still friends with a recent ex. How do I tell him I've moved on and I'm dating someone new? I mean, first of all, I don't really think it's your duty to tell him. You're friends, but you're not together anymore. He is your ex. I would just simply send him a text and just say, hey, just so you know, I wanted to be the one to tell you before you heard it from anyone else. Like, I am seeing someone new. I'm really happy. I think staying friends with an ex when you're kind of getting into something new is a difficult situation, so maybe just tell him that you're gonna need to take a step back from the friendship. Okay, I had a lot of questions about this. When to tell the other person about your past with mental health, eating disorders / self-harm. I personally always bring up my history with mental health in a light-hearted way. Not necessarily on the first date, but within, I'd say, the first 3 dates. And I think I've always said this, the thing about me is that if anyone goes onto my social media, like, they can say it's literally in my Instagram bio. You click on my YouTube and there's like a whole flipping playlist on like self-harm and suicide and all that. It's not like hidden with me. It's, I don't really have to say anything if I don't want to, if they want to like look into me before the date. However, obviously all of you don't have that, so it's a tricky situation, but I do think that it's just worth bringing up. But it has to be like in a casual way, because what the other person needs to know is that this, you know, your mental health, your eating disorder, your self-harm, whatever it is, does not define you. And I've spoken about this, I've done multiple videos on this in the past, but self-harm, especially when it comes to being intimate, that's a whole other topic to you know, cross. So I think if you bring it up beforehand, in your head you're not going to be so anxious, and you don't have to disclose everything. Like, you literally can just dip in like, oh, I've had mental health problems in the past, you know, and then you can move on to something else. And if they want to ask you questions on that, they can. I think just leave it on the table, and you know, then you know that you've brought it up. How to tell them you're not interested after the first date, even though they're nice, just not the one. Oh my god, I literally had this situation recently. Okay, you just gotta tell them. Like, it's so funny because I did this like the other week, and I don't know why I was like getting into such a state about it. I was like asking my guy friends, like, how do I say this? And they were like literally just say, look, I had a great time, but I just don't think we're compatible romantically. I don't really like ghosting people. Like, I don't like doing that, so I want to be honest and upfront. So I just think, like, send them a message and say, like, you know, I had a really good time, but I just don't want to take this any further. How to stop thinking about an ex you know was bad for you. Whew, okay, this is a tricky one. I think you just need to put your focus elsewhere. Put your focus on yourself, on your, sounds so silly, but on your self-growth, on what you want to achieve, what you want to do in the next few years, what you can be doing for fun right now. There's no harm on having a little flirt on a dating app to try and take your mind off things, but I'd say just like surround yourself with friends, try and keep yourself busy, and whenever you do have the thoughts about him, I think it's always important to write these thoughts down, and like I mentioned earlier on in the video, write down 10 things. Like you said, he was bad for you, so write those things, remember those things, and remember your self-worth, that you're more than that and you will find someone better. Okay, next question. Why is this me? I start talking to a boy and get bored instantly. What is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. You just haven't found the right person to talk to. I feel like when you find that person, like so often, like I start conversations with people, then I just can't be bothered for the small talk. But I think when it's like the right person, I've had a few people recently who I've like continued the conversation with for a good few months, it will come naturally to you. So, you know, don't be discouraged, don't think it's anything wrong with you. I think just, you know, carry on talking to people and you will find someone that you connect with. Why do I constantly get that I don't do commitment talk? Because the boys that you go for are probably fuckboys. I don't know, I guess you need to figure whether there's any red flags in the beginning, which there probably are, but us girls love to ignore. Oh, I nearly tipped over my wine. Said red flags. Now, I think it's really important to gauge what each of you wants, like at the beginning of the situation. And if it's a case where they've told you at the beginning, I don't want commitment, I just want something fun, but you've gone down the route and you've thought, oh, maybe they'll change their mind, and then they haven't, stop it, okay? Even if they're bullshitting you and they're telling you they do want commitment, however their actions are telling you otherwise, just read the signs. But in my opinion, I would definitely just try and find someone who will openly tell you that they want a relationship. Okay, next question. Breaking up but still being friends with benefits after the breakup. Seriously, are we having this conversation? It's a no from me. Don't get me wrong, I've slept with exes in the past, but funnily enough, it's always been like, I'd say almost 2 years later, where I've like bumped into an ex and I've like had sex, and then that's literally been it. It's not been like going back into a friends with benefits situation, but no is my answer. Want to travel the world and leave my boyfriend behind. Is that bad? No, it's not. When you say behind, does that mean break up? You have to focus on yourself. Like when you're older, you're gonna regret not doing what you wanted to do just because of some guy, and if you are meant to be together, he will be there when you get back and he will support your decision to go off and travel. How to ask your boyfriend his opinion on sex toys to then using them together. Okay, let me give you like something, a scenario. I would say have, say, like the Ann Summers or the Love Honey website up on your phone, scroll through, find something, say like a vibrator, and say like, hey babe, what do you think about me getting one of these and us using it together? Like, I think it would be really hot if you use this on me. I think maybe a lot of girls' fear is that their boyfriend is going to react badly because they're going to think, you know, the guy is not enough. But let me just tell you, so many fucking girls cannot orgasm during sex without a sex toy being involved, me included. But I just think like when he actually sees you with said sex toy, or maybe just order it and then just whack it out, and when he sees you with a sex toy, whatever toy it is, say like a vibrator, like on top of him having the best fucking orgasm of your life, and he's like watching it, he's not gonna be thinking like, oh shit, like I wish you didn't order this. He's gonna be loving it. So that's my advice. I had the most amazing dates during lockdown and now he's not texting me back. What do I do? So many of my friends have had this situation. They've been talking throughout the duration of lockdown, and as soon as lockdown is lifted, the guy's gone MIA. If he's gone MIA, in my opinion, there's literally no point in chasing a guy, and there's also no point in piping up and being like, oh, like, what did I do wrong, or like what happened, because then that's just gonna make him want to run further away. My opinion is move on. I know that's really, really hard, but move on, carry on doing your own thing. Guys always come back. He'll probably text you in a couple of months and be like, hey, and then you can just be like, block, delete, goodbye. Okay, wondering if it's too impulsive to catch a flight to see if a relationship would go further since the person lives on the other side of the world. Okay, I have one question for you. Does the other person want you to fly out there, or is this just you doing it? Why is said person not coming to see you? Why is it you going out to see them? Do they live in a nice country? If so, I'll let you on. I don't really have a sex drive at the moment because of my mental health, and I don't know how to explain it to my boyfriend. I think this is a tricky one because guys take it so flipping personally. You just need to literally tell him it's nothing to do with you. This medication is literally makes me have no libido, and for me it literally made like that whole area numb. So I literally had no libido, and I mean I couldn't even orgasm. Well, it took me probably about half an hour to do it myself. But I think maybe just show him stuff on the internet about it to try and help him understand. Is it ever acceptable to chat someone up in the gym? And this is from a guy, so no. Just a little PSA to all the guys out there, please do not approach a girl when she's in the gym. I mean, I don't really know how to go about this if you see a girl that you like in the gym, but maybe catch her like as she's leaving the gym. So I'm 19 and still a virgin / never had a boyfriend, but every single one of my friends has a boyfriend and has had sex, and it honestly makes me so insecure and sad because something must be wrong with me because boys just don't like me / never fancy me. I just feel so behind all my friends and childish, and now I feel like boys my age won't want to be with a virgin. Any tips on how to get over this feeling? Thank you. It really frustrates me how much pressure society puts on us to lose our virginity at a certain age, and it's also a very specific age because I feel like too young and you're called a slut, and too late you're called, well, I don't really know what. I feel like, and this is a whole other topic in itself, is like fetishizing taking someone's virginity, but I feel like guys, number one, aren't bothered. If not, they find it more enticing because it's like, oh, no one's ever been with her and I want to be the first person to be with her. But obviously you've got to weed out the ones that just want to take your virginity and the people that generally just want to have sex with you and they don't care that you're a virgin. My advice would be to just focus on yourself, because I know so many of my friends didn't lose their virginity until uni, until later than uni, and who still haven't had a boyfriend and are in their mid-20s, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're great people. People just have different priorities and they develop at different stages. So I really don't want you to feel bad. There's nothing wrong with you, but please don't rush into anything because you just want to get like your virginity and your relationship status like ticked off, because it's honestly not worth it. I'm 23 and recently single. My relationship ended 2 weeks ago and I honestly thought we would be together forever. All my friends are in long-term relationships and I'm now so jealous. Every time I look at another couple I feel so lonely. I'm worried I'll never find anyone whilst I'm thinking like this, but I don't know how to stop it. Any advice? Okay, let me give you my first piece of advice. You're 23. Like, I understand 23 like / navigating in your mid-20s is a weird situation because people do start to like getting to really long-term relationships / settle down and all of that, but you're still so young. Like, you still, I think after a relationship like that you need time to focus on yourself. Obviously you're gonna be craving still that relationship, but if you don't focus on yourself now and you don't take that time, you're never going to in your life, and you're going to look back when you're older and you're going to be like, oh, when I was that age, like I really wish I'd just taken the time to do things that I want and stop worrying about what everyone else was doing. What things can you do for yourself in your life, for your career, for your well-being? Once you learn to be okay and content with who you are and being alone, that's when another person is going to come into your life, but they're not going to be your whole life. They're just going to be a nice addition to your life. So I hope you liked this chatty style video. Do give this video a thumbs up if you did like it, and make sure you comment down below. Let me know if I answered your dilemma, if you thought my advice was good, if you thought it was shit. Either way, leave a comment, and I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye!